Kids and dicks. Gemma says, my 6-year-old and I are at school waiting for the bell with everyone else, and he yells, Mum, you packed your nipples wrong. I have rather large boobies, and since it was cold, I was a bit nippy. All parents look. I pissed myself laughing as I looked down, and my nipples are pointing in 2 different directions. You packed them wrong. Like it was the groceries from the shop. This from Nick Adams. Case in point again. We met up with my best friend on the anniversary of her father's passing. We bought her flowers and told our 4-year-old Millie was nice for us to get her some flowers. When we met, our darling daughter proceeds to hand over the flowers and exclaims, these are for you, because your dad is already dead. In such a blunt, nonchalant way, we all fell about laughing.
This one from Lisa. My son had his first sex education class, I think grade 5 or 6. The following morning, whilst I was making breakfast and school lunches, he screamed at the top of his lungs from his bedroom, hey, Mum, guess what? I've got a stiffy.
This from Stephen. My niece, probably 6 or 7 at the time, and I were out camping with the family and a large group of people. She was getting tired, so I picked her up and held her. At one point, she looked me right in the eyes and asked, do you have any kids? I replied, no, I don't have any kids. She asked, you ever been married? I giggled a little and responded, no, sweetie, I've never been married. Without hesitation and still tired and dazed, she asked one more question. So no girls like you? Oh. My smile dropped just as fast as she did when I dropped her. I told her parents because it was funny, and they laughed and they looked at her and said, you deserve that.
When my son was 3, my dad was playing with him and lifting him up above his head. My son gasped at something and gently touched my dad's bald spot on his head and said, does it hurt? More than you'll ever know.
Kids and dicks. I'll start with Kelly. In the KFC drive-thru and the line was going super slow, and I muttered to myself, hurry up, I need to go home for a poo. Finally get up to the ordering speaker and Mr. 7 yells, hurry up before my mum shits her pants.
This one here from Donna Simpson. When I was doing the weekly shopping many years ago, I was putting the groceries onto the counter at the checkout. My son, who was 5 at the time, says, but have you already paid for your heroin? People were looking at me like I was some doped-up drug addict mother. Yes, that's right. I was putting a pack of heroin paracetamol onto the counter. In a loud voice, I said, no, I haven't paid for the heroin paracetamol yet.
This from Carolina. I was rushing about getting myself dressed, etc. I was wearing a Mickey Mouse t-shirt with his hands outstretched. My son, around 6, was waiting for me to come down the stairs. As I ran down the stairs, he fell to the floor laughing and pounding the floor with one hand. I asked what the joke was. He goes, when you ran down the stairs, Mickey clapped his hands.
I was helping my brother out with some work at his house, got a bit sweaty, jumped in the truck, and my 5-year-old nephew looked me dead in the eyes and goes, you smell effing disgusting. Kids are dicks. Another one here. My co-worker's child asked me why I'm so fat. I responded with, it's because I never listened to my mother when I was a child. The mother of said prick of a kid proceeded to say, see, I told you now, listen to me or you'll end up fat like Uncle. Cheers.
That's from Nat. I was on the toilet one day when there was a knock on the screen door. My 8-year-old daughter came in and said, someone's at the door. I said, okay, it won't be a second. My daughter proceeded to tell the person at the door, a door salesman, hang on a second, my mum's just wiping her bum. Silence was deafening.
Jennifer Hallowell, that's my final one. I call my downstairs operation my mini. Having a 3-year-old boy, only child, they stick to you like glue, and he followed me everywhere and used to ask so many questions, so I told him my Tampax was a plug. Being the time of the month and needing to change it out, we find a clean set of toilets, wait my turn for a cubicle. My son, being the ever so helpful boy he was, asked quite loudly, Mum, do you need a plug for your mini? I heard all the women laugh and stayed in the cubicle until they all left. I was absolutely mortified.
Oh, jeez.
Kids are